We're back, folks. It's your boy Ak.
And I'm Barack, the boxing bully.
And this is the DAZN Boxing Show, the one-stop shop for the latest boxing news, the biggest guests, and our phenomenal takes on all of these fights. Barack, a lot of heavy stuff to talk about. You ready for it?
I'm ready. I'm always ready. I was born ready, like Canelo said.
That's right. Well, listen, we're talking heavyweight talk. Two former world champions are inching closer at a mega fight. And I think you guys know who we're talking about. That's right, Wilder, Joshua, and there's another big heavyweight. He's not inching away at no other big boxing fight. He's fighting an MMA fighter and maybe is about to be stripped if he doesn't fight the winner out of Wilder and Joshua. And I'm talking about Tyson Fury. So let's get into the opening bell and talk about all that right now. Look, Barack, I'll set things off with Tyson Fury. We all know Tyson Fury is the troll king in boxing. He is the Jake Paul of boxing. We never know with him what's next, what he's going to do. We know he's skilled. We know he's big. We know he's probably the best heavyweight in the world and might not be able to be beat by any of those guys, but for some reason hasn't made the fight with Usyk. There's a big fight right now on the horizon with him and Francis Ngannou, Barack, where it's a spectacle. Nobody's giving Ngannou a chance. And we get it. This is a one-off. But what we don't get, and what a lot of fight fans are upset with, is the talk about fighting Jon Jones next. If that is the case, I absolutely agree with the WBC and him being stripped of that title.
Yeah, first of all, Jake Paul is the Jake Paul of boxing, first of all. Now, Tyson Fury, yes, he's a troll, and that's why we can't take everything he says seriously. Him just saying...
I would take that back. I didn't mean to Jake Paul.
I know what you mean. I know, because Jake Paul is actually in boxing, so he's exactly. Jake Paul. But how many times has Tyson Fury said some things just to get our blood boiling? Because my blood was boiling when I read that, him wanting to fight Jon Jones afterwards, and he really didn't mean it. As a matter of fact, they're setting something up in Saudi Arabia probably. Who knows? We really don't know. But that doesn't stop me from saying, if that's the case, if that is true, that he wants to fight Jon Jones after he fights Francis Ngannou, then yeah, we got to take that belt, buddy. I mean, if the WBO is gonna strip Jermell Charlo for moving up 2 weight divisions and fighting Canelo and daring to be great, undisputed, fighting undisputed, well, damn well, you better strip Tyson Fury for fighting Francis Ngannou, who hasn't boxed a day in his life. Barack, I'm not mad at him doing that. I'm not mad at him fighting Francis. I'm just saying don't hold up the belt. Like, go on your retirement tour like Floyd did. But Floyd ain't trying to take the belts with him.
Right. No, well, I'll say this, I don't have the date offhand the last time Tyson Fury was in the ring.
December 3rd, 2022.
Right, so
that's 9 months ago.
9 months ago. So after this Ngannou fight, which a lot of people aren't happy with, but I could understand why the fight is being made. I think the fight will generate a decent amount of pay-per-view sales, and both guys will make money. And it's somewhat of a favor to Francis Ngannou, who's a warrior and didn't get his just due at the UFC, and to get him a payday with his story and his struggle to get to where he was at. I'm not even upset at Tyson Fury for this fight.
No, I'm not upset at Francis Ngannou for doing it. But come on, Tyson. See, Tyson, if you're the guy that's, first of all, you're worth $165 million. If we look it up and it says that means you're probably worth more. Second of all, you're the guy who said, I'll fight Anthony Joshua for free. Like, come on. So we gotta judge you harshly if you say things like that and then you show us something different. Like, fine, fight this guy, but relinquish the belt. Say, I don't care about the belts anyway. I am who I am. I made myself who I am. Let me go fight this guy for money. Do that.
And I agree with that, because there's been such a struggle for you to become undisputed champion, at least to make the fight Alexander Usyk, which is a fight that the boxing world wants to see. We want to see an undisputed heavyweight champion. That's not important to you. That, it seems like that fight isn't that important for you to make. So does the WBC title mean that much to you? So I agree with that. Now, even if this fight is set with Francis Ngannou. Now, if Tyson Fury said, okay, I'm doing this one and then I'm back in campaign to become undisputed, let's set the Usyk fight. Or I'll be waiting on deck for the winner out of Joshua and Fury for another mega fight. If you're saying that, let's look forward to it. Right?
Yeah, I'm cool with that as well. But at the same time, you still got Usyk. You still got Usyk. We need an undisputed. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, he's calling himself the lineal champion. Like, think about this. Back when Vladimir was champion, Vladimir Klitschko, that is, he had 3 belts. He had those 3 belts that Tyson had back in the days when he beat Vladimir Klitschko. And he called himself the lineal champion, and that's Tyson Fury. Now, the reason why we called Vladimir champion back then, lineal champ, because after Lennox Lewis, nobody had all 4 belts. So nobody really was the lineal champion. But the reason why people just started calling Vladimir Klitschko lineal champion is because the guy who had the other belt, the WBC, was his brother, Vitaly, and they weren't fighting each other. So I guess that moniker got put on Vladimir Klitschko, but in reality, he really wasn't the lineal champ because he didn't have all the straps. But if
so
that's
you're saying
the case,
all that to say that Tyson Fury isn't really the lineal champion?
No, I'm saying, and then plus he retired for 2 years. Like, come on, man. Like, I understand it was just for promotion, build up the first Deontay Wilder fight. I get it. But if don't hold on to these things and then not fight boxers. And like you said, if he fights Ngannou and then goes right back to business and fights Usyk, I'm happy.
But that's what I'm saying, and maybe we will get that because to your point earlier, Tyson Fury says things to get the blood boiling, and maybe he'll come back and strike a deal for the winner of Joshua Wilder or fight Usyk. Speaking of Joshua Wilder, shifting gears here, Barack. Yeah. Now, it's been, I don't know how many years. I lost count of years of this fight, of us wanting this fight. I'm talking about Deontay Wilder versus
2016, really.
Deontay Wilder. So we're talking
champions.
about 6 or 7 years, right? Where these 2 big names, these 2 giants, these heavyweights were in talks. There were offers made. People wanted to see these 2 guys fight each other. They both went on to their journeys, both lost titles, both won fights after that. And now they're meeting at this crossroad. And it looks like this fight is going to be made. I mean, we knew it before the AJ fight, but we don't know if it's going to be in the Middle East, all right? There's some management changes going on. There are other sites, other big locations that want this fight. I'm still leaning towards the Middle East because they got that bankroll, Barack, and on a drop of a dime, they can make that fight happen as expensive as it is. But it looks like the terms were agreed on. That's always a good sign, even though that's not the end all and be all. Those contracts need to be signed, Barack, before we can, thank the boxing gods that, look, we got another big fight. We need the dotted line signed. But I like the fact that the terms are agreed on because, I mean, that's never happened with these 2 guys.
I always hated that term, boxing gods. There's only one God. I know he probably gets upset at all of that crap. But listen,
he knows my intention. Me and God got a good connection. I told God I'm going to say this, but it's just for the boxing world.
Listen, I feel like that fight with Joshua and Wilder is like the heavyweight division of the heavyweight version of Tank and Ryan Garcia because it's the most popular guys in the heavyweight division. I feel like Tyson Fury is also a popular guy in the heavyweight division, but I feel like everybody who would watch Tyson Fury fight on that side of the world is looking to watch Joshua fight. And then you got Wilder over here on this side of the world. He's the most, dominating. He's the most popular champion that America has. Heavyweight that America has. So it just makes sense for those 2 to finally get together. I remember years ago when Eddie Hearn said, hey, listen, we got to get these guys together. Even though at first it was Wilder trying to make the fight and it seemed like that side didn't really want to make the Wilder fight at the time. He was like, yo, we got to make this fight happen before, these guys lose. And then look what we got. But it just so happens when you're popular, you're popular. And when you're a knockout artist, you're a knockout artist. And I think both of those guys can be that and are that. And when they meet together, it's the biggest fight in the division. Belts or not.
No question about it. That will be the biggest fight. And I can't wait for the date to be announced. We'll be there front center, God willing. That's our show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is the one-stop shop for all things boxing. Peace and love. Stay safe. We're out of here.